Welcome to Connecting Territories channel. So today we have this amazing opportunity to meet with Professor Somba again. So we came to Chian Mai to visit him and learn more about Aikido. And so during the first week we have this opportunity to have a class about trauma. So we were studying in the Peace Field at Chulalongkorn University. And so thank you so much to receive us here as well. And I wanna ask you, what are you so passionate about the work that you are doing?
Okay, as a clinical psychologist, I have been working with a lot of traumatized individuals, and mostly it's a result of violence. So that's why I become interested in Aikido, because Aikido is a way of life that doesn't promote violence. It has a philosophy, underneath that advocates kindness, compassion, even toward people who want to harm you. So we practice Aikido with the spirit of loving protection, not destruction. And it's not competitive. So we need to cooperate when we want to learn Aikido better. And this is, I find it as a very powerful tool to teach children. Because in general, when somebody is aggressive toward us, we immediately react with the same kind of aggression. So we want to teach people to have other options instead of fighting back. Yeah, we use the principle of Aikido, which is to remain calm and work with the violence towards you in a compassionate manner without trying to beat the other person up.
Yeah, this is amazing.
Mm.
So this is also the way to build peace, right?
Yes. And also, I think peace building can start at home. Again, from the psychological perspective, children learn from people around them, and then they grow up, as a product of their learning in childhood. So if you have a lot of aggressive parents, teachers, children grow up with a lot of violence. And then they absorb that way of treating other people. So if that's why I am very involved in parenting skills training. So train parents how to raise your children to be kind. A lot of parents misunderstand this and they think the harsh discipline is important. So they beat the children, they use like verbal aggression, they humiliate children. So in psychology, we learn from many studies that that kind of approach is very harmful. But unfortunately, it's very common. So that's the area that I'm passionate about,
Yeah.
training teachers and parents.
Yeah. So how do you think also we can change the culture? Because everything that you're saying is we learn, yeah,
Yeah.
in the same system, and you work with families, but also how we can develop and also breaking these cultures in other places, like in the schools
Yep.
or in around hospitals as well.
Well, in hospitals, yeah, there is a new approach called trauma-informed care. So in this, we train doctors and nurses and health personnel to recognize trauma and behavior related to trauma. Because sometimes traumatized people can be like aggressive and have a trigger kind of reaction, and you need to learn how to to manage them. Otherwise, you also respond with aggression, and that is not helpful. I also work with the school system. So one project that we have here in Chiang Mai, we work with Rotary as well. We call it cultivating peace culture in school. So within this project, we train teachers, parents, students with different activities towards this goal, like positive discipline, conflict resolution, mediation, and just plain being kind to others, being respectful. So, for example, there's a project with that I'm working with UNESCO called Connect with Respect. And I think that's like very important concept. So as long as you treat other people with respect, there's no room for violence.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And how we can build internal peace?
Yeah, internal peace can come with also with practice, with training. From my Buddhist background, that also is very important. And you probably recognize that the practice of mindfulness has become mainstream now, and it has its root in Buddhism, especially through the teaching of the famous Vietnamese monk, Thich Nhat Hanh, who started the Plum Village in France, and is the author of the very famous book on mindfulness, and the title is The Miracle of Being Awake, which is meaning being mindful. So we can cultivate inner peace through mindfulness practice.
So could you, yeah, I think this is the new revolution. Yeah.
Yes.
Could you give you any tips for us?
Tip, well, just treat others with kindness and recognize your own. Sometimes you are traumatized yourself, and you often, certain people would have like spontaneous or automatic aggressive reaction. Say if you drive on the road and somebody cuts you off, and immediately you become aggressive. So if you are mindful of that and try to take a deep breath and calm down in every interaction you have with people, don't react right away, but respond instead in a mindful and respectful and kind manner. So I guess that's a general tip you can practice everywhere.
Yes, thank you. And how about how we can break stereotypes and bias between individuals?
Yeah, like based on gender or race or social class. Again, if you are mindful of your own bias, and that's not easy. Yeah, it requires keen observation and always mindfulness. You become aware. Always be aware of your reaction, your attitude, even your tone of voice. So in that manner, you can be a master of your expression or your communication. Don't like succumb to automatic response all the time. Some people always respond same way, aggressive. So if you become mindful of that, you can control, you can change.
Yes. Oh, thank you so much.
Sure. My pleasure.
It was a pleasure.
I hope you'll come visit us again.
Yes, for sure.
Okay.
Thank you.
Great.
Thank you. Até a próxima.